official week of Kim's first exhibit.
Thing?
Not really. What we haven't told you yet is that we've done some shuffling around here, and Daryl Beecham left us. You may have seen his farewell video.
Love you, Daryl.
And this one has taken over interim executive director, and this one is now curator. Part-time curator, but still curator. I've been dealing with budgets and letters and people and signatures and all that stuff. Sadly, could not help Kimberly really take down her band. She did that pretty much by herself.
That was interesting.
Bless her little heart. Setting up this show, I certainly didn't do much. I suggested one move of a picture, and I helped light. She did the layout, she got everything out, she condition reported. Tell us about your first solo exhibit, Kimberly.
Oh god, okay, so this is all photos, and I really wanted to make it work how it's supposed to work, and I didn't do that at all. Not at all. This first corner where you see this, where Chaco Canyon is, here actually I tried to stay with where the text and all that was leading to, and then after that I was like, no, we're gonna just play this by ear and eye. I put out the giant buffalo first. That was one of the first images I actually pulled out, and I just fell in love with it because it's them running, and I'm like, could you imagine just sitting there on a hillside watching this, taking this photo, hearing that? And then from there I played with color. You'll notice things are like colored off on the other side of here, and you'll see the moon and the moonscape along with Socorro. So I played with color, so it's not all black and white in one area and not all landscape in another. And I didn't want it to be like when you walk into an art gallery, you know, you'll have one room of this is all landscapes and Monets, and the next one is all statues from Degas. I didn't want that. I didn't want it where it's just like, let's bore you with this, and then put people, and then put animals. So as you walk through, you'll notice that just like how it is in life, you're going to have a landscape, then you're going to have an encounter with the person, then you're going to be... There's a photo behind y'all, and I love it. I call it Tatooine, and I can just stare at it, and I can see Star Wars characters and things going on in Star Wars behind it. It's amazing, and it's in Arizona.
Well, she made stories. You made stories out of different things. One of my favorites is the homesteaders on their horse, and then below it is like motorcycles. And so you've got these two conflicting but similar things.
One's in Oklahoma and one's in California, and I made the joke with that, like, look, horsepower and horsepower. Kind of like the ones beside Aaron over there, solar array from New Mexico, and then California, you see the moon, but the mountain down there almost looks like the moonscape. So I'm like, you're looking at the moon using these things, and here's the moon itself. I have another one where is it? There's like 4 images off in a corner over that way, and it's just different variations of travel. It's a horse in the city, and then a horse with a biplane, and then just an image of California with cars, and then a car and deer in the background. And so there's little stories with the images as you walk through it. And I wanted it where you had to think of why did we put it up the way that we did. And
well, there really was no story.
No.
This is one of those exhibits that could have gone up any way
in any
you wanted. And so it was kind of fun that you could just
play with it.
Yeah, play with it, look at it, and be like, no.
And I didn't want to do it year-wise, because you can do it year-wise, and I didn't want to do it all, this is all New Mexico, this is all Utah. I wanted it where you got to see it like if you were going on a road trip. We're going to stop it. Again, it's an encounter in and of itself.
So we didn't really realize that you'd have to do this by yourself. It was always my intention to get the list out, and we were going to sit down and try to make a floor plan. I was going to help her, because I love doing it, but I just never got to it.
We're busy.
That was fair time, and then Rodan taken down, and school starting, and it was nuts. So Kim kind of just had to take it upon herself to go open the crates up, get them out, lay them out, figure out how we want to do it. I mean, we kind of talked about doing the 2 small ones on top of each other and then a big one, because you really have the 2 sizes. There's a few more, but this is really it. And so that's really what I helped you with layout-wise, but then you just kind of went and placed and played, went from there, and then our dads thankfully came in and helped us hung them.
Yay, dads!
Because
we would have not gotten finished on time if that was the case. I don't think we would have.
Thanks, Daddy.
You're amazing. I love you guys.
And so I helped with that, but yeah, I mean, this was you. This was all you.
Before we hung them on the wall, I went and got her, and I was like, walk through this with me, and I'm going to explain it as we go. And then the whole time, how she's doing the head bobble, that's what she's doing. And then once we got to the end, she's like, let's switch these 2 out, it'll make more sense.
But it looks great. I had her up on the ladder for lighting. I pushed her around on the ladder. She did it.
She made me do everything. I set the benches out. We did everything like that. Other than our parents coming out and helping us.
So having this as your first solo exhibit, and you've been here for 3 years, What are your thoughts?
It was easy. It was terrifying because I'm afraid of like, well, what if these artists don't get along? I didn't want to put them together, but it was like, it doesn't matter. And then also opening night, I just kind of was wandering in and out of here, listening to everyone talk. It was like, do they like how it's set up? Are they okay with this? Is this okay? So I'm nervous. It's a fun show, and I enjoyed putting it up.
Proud of it?
I am. I'm very proud.
It's beautiful. It's beautifully lit. It's beautifully laid out. I was worried about it filling the space, and with our movable walls, it really fills the space. Kim did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
So you better come out and see it.
If not, just come out to see Chaco Canyon. This image, when you walk in the gallery, it's intended for you to actually go to the left, and I've noticed everyone's been going right, but that's your preference, it's up to you. But when you walk in, and if you come like you're supposed to, the first image you're almost met with is this one, and then
draws your eye.
And an image of a forest on fire. I wanted you to see the two different.
So subscribe for more information, and come out and see National Geographic's greatest photographs of the American West. Set up, I can't say curated because they curated the show, but set up, lit, organized by Kimberly Renee Launch. We'll tell you about our other exhibit that we have out in the Chuck Wagon Room next week. Bye.
That's weird. You say that is weird. Oh, okay.